Did everyone hear the question?
Yeah.
What was the most challenging thing coming together and creating something in such a brief amount of time?
I'll take a crack at that. So I would say that I don't think it was difficult in terms of like the time or what we learned. I think it's that, and I might have said this the first or the second day, is that that change needs to come within, and so you're exposed to these scenarios that you're kind of revisiting these, these situations that you might have seen, and so you're testing yourself. For me, it was just kind of test like, if this happened again, how would I react to it? Would I say something? And so that is you're just kind of continuously for me, I was just kind of continuously reliving these memories. And for me, it was kind of like closure almost. Like, okay, I now I know how to move forward with that, or but it was I would say that was the difficult part. It's just kind of reliving these memories and being exposed to it and sharing it with everybody. So.
I think that an obvious shorthand was that most of us don't know one another, but we knew the purpose of this program, and we hung on to that, and we learned together a deeper understanding of human rights and what it means to each of us, and we were able to bring that personal understanding, despite our unique characteristics, to create a really nice teamwork dynamic. And you saw that in the presentations, that even though, of course I can't tell you most of these people's backgrounds, but I can tell you that they're great people, and that's an energy that we transmitted to one another.
I would like to point out that Anthony Ragone has been an intern with the World as It Could Be program since March, and we got connected with Anthony thanks to the University of San Francisco, where he was taking a class and heard about our program and volunteered to take part, and then he got very involved and became part of the entire program. And I also want to point to Pat Stacy, who is from the University of San Francisco, from the IT video department, media department, who came all the way over here to make sure that we could record this presentation and discussion so that we have it available on our website for continuing sharing, and so I just want to thank you so much. Any other comments?
For me, with my group, it was being in a room full of people who are used to being leaders. They're all teachers, so we were all there spouting off these ideas and like trying to fit them all in, and like there was no, there wasn't anyone to take the position like, all right, cool, let's do this, do that, cut that, maybe come back to it later and, work it out. So like in the beginning, we just had a whole bunch of ideas, but we were kind of lost because we didn't have like that sense of leadership, I guess I want to say, like in a way. So for me, it was just like getting us together and like getting a set leader to like help us figure it all out. You know what I mean? Like it was like I felt like kind of like in a classroom full of chaos a little bit, just until like we got that teacher to like step in and get it all done, and then it flowed nicely. So that was like the rough part in the beginning. Yeah.
So I'm not a teacher, I'm a cop, and I was in a group, and when you're in a workshop with all teachers, cops kind of come into situations and start taking things over. So I was completely conscious about not doing that. So the first day we're just throwing ideas out and we're not getting anywhere, and the second day I said, you know what, we need a leader. I'm not going to be it, but who wants to be one? Right? And then things started moving from there. So it was a great experience because everybody here is brilliant and everybody here wants to change the quality of life in the community that they're in, and they're passionate about it. So it's difficult to not throw everything in there and move forward. It's real difficult because everything being thrown in is golden. It comes down to whether or not we can fit it in the next 10 minutes, because that's when the performance starts.
I gotta say, first off, I'm just completely blessed to be involved with the program since 2010. I've gone every year except for 2013, because I have to get married to this one every year. But just real talk, like just to be able to take it from Oakland and come back to Bow. I'm looking at Art, and I'm looking at Allison, I'm looking at all these beautiful people associated with Bow, and I can't even say how grateful I am to be part of the role as it could be, and to find my way through Bow here. And as a facilitator, and one of the things I wanted to make sure I take from coming back to the program is to reinvigorate my practice, because I'm an educator first, I'm a teacher first and foremost. You know, I took the position as assistant principal under the hope that everything I took as an educator back in the East Bay will still continue to show the love here in the Excelsior, the X, as Art told me, and the whole city. And to continue that arts integration with the human rights focus and social justice focus that has completely been swept under the rug completely. I mean, I am Sandra Bland, Black Lives Matter, everything. Like, we still got to continue to perpetuate that into our schools. And so every year is different. I will never ever think that this year was different, was the same as the last. I'm invigorated, I'm juiced because of this. I'm looking at Hadaya taking that leadership. At 21, you got Officer Ferreira right here. You got me. I'm an assistant principal, man. No, you took the role. You took the reins, and you directed us to what we need to do. And so for that, I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody in this program, and the fact that all y'all came to watch us, mess up or not? No. We did it as much as we could because we brought for human rights, and I appreciate just being here 5 years out of 6, and to continue to do this work forever.
One more question or any closing comments?
Well, I got a comment. I wish my daughter would have told me, because I would have been here. That's what I do. When I'm out there, I try to represent something good. You know what I mean? That's not, I live like that, and she knows that, and she should have told me about it.
I'm just getting called out all the ways.
She knows I'm going to be there, yeah, she knows.
And I think the DIA is going to be able to teach even more about it, right, as a result. So
And
this is just the beginning.
This helps her, where is it? This is going to help her thicken her skin up. This is going to help her thicken her skin up.
The dad's like, Dad, don't put me on blast. Don't put me on blast.
And I'd also like to see if Sarah, Ellen, Manisha, if any, Natalia would like to make any comments as well. If there's anything.
Well, I'll start by saying that when Sarah had recommended me to join this program as the creative director, I came in and I was like, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? What's that? I had never heard of it. You know, I was a full-grown adult, Eleanor Roosevelt, I knew the Roosevelt, never had heard of it. And so I went through my own personal, I have to say, shame. Because I thought, did I miss class that day? What happened? Did I skip school? Where was I? And so for me, what became really a passion for me is to say, learning never stops. One should never be shamed by not knowing, but embrace the not knowing as a moment to embrace new knowledge at any age. And so this became a real, kind of calling that, that I had a charge here to say, I didn't know about this. Do you? Well, you should, because this is really powerful. So in that way alone, I'm just so grateful that I got invited into something that I didn't know that really changed my life. And so that I'm just coming from a great place of gratitude.
And I'll say something, I'm really honored and encouraged that teachers want to come learn embodiment practices to bring back to their students, because sometimes, I get so frustrated with the academic community because we forget, I'll add myself in, we forget to allow our students to move and to require it, to have it be connected to the material that we're teaching. And I think this group gets it, feels it, understands it on a kinesthetic level that it's so important. And I've been teaching for 25 years and have seen, teaching dance and theater, and I've seen the way children come to me. The more programs like dance and theater get cut, phys ed get cut from the schools, the angrier and more shut down our students are. And so I've watched it, and then I've watched as people are like, oh, after however many, 15, 20 years, our kids are really pissed off. Let's bring dance and theater back to school. And people going, the theater dance people have been going, yes, please. Like how many people as adults remember their math class versus their art class or the play that they were in or whatever. Those are the things that are the lights in our education. And I think we're providing that on a broader scale. Is how do we bring the arts back into every classroom and really empower our students to embody what they're learning. So that's been my charge as the artistic director of Destiny Arts Center, which does dance, theater, and violence prevention in North Oakland and has done for 27 years. And I'm just grateful, Sandy, to you for calling this forth and holding it so beautifully, along with USF, and then the teachers every year are always well known.
Teachers.
Can I ask one last question?
Yeah.
My name is Cheryl. I'm the educational director for an opera company in San Francisco, and I love integrating the arts into general education. And I'm wondering what, maybe a couple quick ideas of how you might use the amazing, very moving performance. I had to keep pushing the lump in my throat down while I was watching. How you might use it in your classrooms.
No, you thought
We're already discussing
I'm an English teacher here at Balboa. I teach English language development to newcomer students who are just learning the language, and a lot of what Sarah's been doing with us with movement and the body and getting up and moving and speaking and putting gesture to voice will really help my students and help them stay focused and feel the rhythm of the voice and the music and the power of the speech.
And then I'm a visual arts teacher, so this was definitely outside I would have rather been painting a backdrop. But, and this is my colleague Marilee, she also teaches art, we teach in the same district, but we've talked about, you're always trying to couple skills with content. And with my advanced placement class, maybe to start with this document, have them create a piece of artwork about it, and then do even a self-portrait that brings it in closer. And then another project that I've done is I do this sort of quotable portrait where they choose a famous person, do a portrait, and then the quotes need to become a graphic part of the image. And I let the students choose their own person, and so as a result, I get a lot of pop stars and things like that. And I think really to help them learn something new, I'm going to require some sort of civil rights leader or something, so they can connect to those powerful quotes and not just song lyrics necessarily.
And sorry, I would just add in that because that's the part I'm super structured, and so what was helpful is that Sarah, I thought, really provided a structure to how to learn how to do these things, and it's she would, for one, we displayed emotion. There was a scale of 1 to 10, and we had to slowly move up to 10. It's that makes sense. That's something I could teach students about how to, at a small scale versus a large scale, if they are doing presentations. I mean, just little things like that, so that I have a structure that because that's my comfort zone. So that's something that I can bring into the classroom, and that helps my students, who feel like doing something like this is super out of their comfort zone, right? And so that scaling of it helps that structure. So I really appreciate those things. Thank you.
As a substitute teacher, you don't get to really have a class of your own to build on. So on a very technical level, you need a lot of classroom management. And I think a lot of the transitions we learn, small things, those would really help within a classroom of kids that you don't know. So I really appreciated all the different transition activities that we did.
One more comment?
Quick. Just gonna say, as a future teacher, for me, and as a student still, for me, theater and movement is like what gets through to me. Moving around, touching things, that gets through to me. And it's really great to know that there's a way to incorporate theater, which I love so much, I'm double majoring, so in my history class I'll be able to use movement and the little exercises that we've done to get through to not only the kids who are just into the books and study, but then the kids like me who need that creativity and that movement and that, to get through to them. So I think that was really cool to see that can actually happen as a student and as a future teacher. I think that's really cool to see.
Do you want to say something? Can I see another?
I'm a special ed teacher. I teach special ed K-8, and one of the things that I was really struck by was that a lot of the movement and a lot of the expression, multiple ways of expression, are what my students are often in trouble for. And so to have a place where it's not only sanctioned, but it's expected, and and they're doing the right thing because their bodies need a certain thing, and we're saying, yeah, everybody needs to do that. And so that's what I want to take back. And I also want to say I appreciate working with everybody here. One of the things that was difficult for me in a short period of time, and one of the things I'm practicing, is to step out of the way of the students. And as a teacher, especially a seasoned one, it's really hard to step away and let them make a space and to be okay with that space. So I really appreciate everything and everybody here. It was a great experience. Thank you.
So, kind of a final closing, I want to acknowledge just a couple more people. I actually would love to say to everybody that's here, but I want to note Michael Alexander, who's sitting in the front row, who's from the Reach Ashland Youth Center, and I have the honor of co-facilitating a 9-month rite of passage program. We call it The World as It Could Be is Within Reach. And I'm so happy that you're here to see this, and we have representatives from Reach, and I want to point out, I think I mentioned Hillary Socott Bass, who is the executive director of TSL, and Marty Nybacher from the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, who now adopted and took in the World as a Kid Youth program, and I'm so grateful for that. And it's very commitment to have Representatives Sergio, Benea, and Jay to be committed to bringing this back into the world of DCEL and the Sheriff's Office. It means a great deal, so thank you. I can't say enough about thanking you all for being part of this. I hope you'll stay on. We have lots of food in the back. You can mingle and stay on and talk to people. And if you have to leave, of course, we understand, but I just want to thank you. And I hope if you aren't already keeping in touch with what we're doing, if you have a card, or I can give you a sign up so that we make sure we stay in touch with you. And last, I do want to say again, Art Nelson, thank you for saying yes. In 2007 to say, yes, let's do this at Balboa, because here we are, and I hope you feel proud.
Let me just, real quick. So, thanks for inviting us to be in the audience. We're doing the Ethnic Studies Teachers Cohort Professional Development just right upstairs, and we're here because I lost my keys and found them in the safe. And Sandy was like, and Ellen was like, oh, we'll feed you, be an audience. But at the same time, I think what we were able to observe, I think, is going to feed our curriculum development process, because how we teach is absolutely key in how effective we are reaching out to our students. So thanks for having us.
Great. All right.